Good afternoon, I'm CJ Craig.
And I'm Jackson Rowbottom.
And this is UCentral News.
That's right, and this week's power outage left students without D2L and some with anxiety about deadlines. So far, the issue is only on the UCO campus and has not affected the city of Edmond. IT has said that an old piece of equipment got hot and overloaded, causing the power system to go down. So far, systems have been fixed.
And some more on that, an announcement this afternoon about D2L. Right now, they're still having access issues. As you can see, Banner, D2L, and UConnect are all still affected. Students are asked to contact their instructors if they have any assignments to turn in. And heads up Broncos, those of you traveling back home this weekend, make sure you've planned around the I-35 closure. UCentral's Ben Anderson has more.
I'm here at the frontage road between I-35 and 2nd Street, and as you can see and probably hear behind me, this road is very busy throughout today. And if you live in Edmond, you know that during the midday and evening rush, this road can get backed up very quickly. So, if you have any plans this weekend between Friday evening to Monday morning, make sure you plan accordingly. And of course, we will be here to update you as the situation continues. That's all I have for now. Reporting in Edmond, I'm Ben Anderson. Back to you guys at the studio.
Thank you, Ben. And work on the City of Edmond's Danforth Waterline project will begin Tuesday. This will affect those heading to school using the intersection at the northeast side of campus. So be sure to plan accordingly to make it to campus on time. And right now we are in the heart of September, and we've seen some cooler temperatures in the past few days, but things are not going to be staying the same. So Jackson's going to give us a little first look at what we are experiencing in the weather. It's definitely been very hot out there the past couple of days. So Jackson, tell us what you got for the weather.
That is right. It has been hot. We are getting a little bit hotter as the week goes on as well. Today, not too bad. We're sitting at a crisp 84 degrees, very nice. Starting to see a little bit of fall weather, but it's not going to stay that way. We are partly cloudy right now with winds coming out of the south at about 14 miles per hour. Humidity sitting right there at about 43%, but as the way things stand right now, no real field temperature change. And so, we're going to be getting into some temperatures going on throughout the state. We are going to be in the mid 80s going into the state. We're going to be a little bit higher up, and we are getting hotter as the week progresses, as I stated. We are going to be dry as the week progresses as well, and getting windier with each passing day. And so we are going to be sitting 88 up in Guyman. The higher the state is right now, we are going to be a little hotter by and large. And so we are sitting at 83 degrees right now in the metro city area. 89 down in Altus, Ardmore sitting at about 84. That's where the middle 80s is going to start coming into play. We do have a few outliers down here in Lawton, Oklahoma. We are sitting at about 91, and a little bit cooler up in the northeast part of the state at about 81 degrees. We're at about 82 in Miami and 84 down in Idabel. And so when we're going to be looking at the lows coming in for the temperature, tonight we're going to be sitting at about 68 degrees come about the sunset time. Winds coming out, it's pretty steady at about 13 miles per hour. Humidity still going to be constant, about 43 degrees. No real chance of rain coming in for tonight. And we're going to keep moving on here, and we're going to look at temperatures for tonight all across the state of Oklahoma. 61 up in Guyman and Idabel. Those are going to be your lows coming in. Coming in at the Metro City area, 68 degrees, and then we're going to be looking at mid-60s all the way across the board. 64 McAllister, Lawton coming in at 66, Altus 66 as well, and Ardmore down at 64. So it's going to be very consistent coming in, not going to be a whole lot range of variety with your temperatures. And we're going to keep moving on here. We're going to look at tomorrow's temperatures, 94 degrees up in Guyman. Here in the Metro City area, 92, Ardmore 92, 93. We're going to be going back up, and it's going to stay that way for a minute. We're going to keep moving on, though. We're going to toss it back to CJ. More weather coming your way after this.
Thanks, Jackson. And starting next week, UCO's musical theater division will begin performances of their new rom-com show, The Wedding Singer. Performances will be held September 22nd to September 24th, and again September 29th until October 1st at 7:30 in Mitchell Hall Theater, with matinee options on both September 25th and October 2nd at 2 p.m.
And listen up, students, wagging tails are on campus, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're in the library right now helping students de-stress after a long week. They come on campus every so often, so you'll want to make sure you keep an eye out for them.
That's right. And UCO's School of Design displaying an art exhibition in the Nye University Center. It's featuring works by juniors and seniors design students, and the exhibition starts today and will be through November 21st.
And it definitely is a very nice day outside as the fall semester starts to continue. And Jackson will have the full weather report coming up right after this break. Stay tuned.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to Weather Broncos. We're going to go over a few more things with the weather. If you're just tuning in with us, we're going to go over the current conditions of the state of Oklahoma. We're going to be pretty benign for this part of the year. We're starting to see some lower temperatures. It will not stay that way, though. Guyman up at 88, Metro City area at about 83, with Lawton being an outlier at 91, and then some lower temperatures up in Miami and in Tulsa coming up. And so tonight, we're going to see some low temperatures sitting at about 68. You're going to see mid-60s all the way throughout the state. We'll get there in just a minute. Winds coming in out of the south, going to stay consistent at about 13 miles per hour. Humidity staying at about 43% with no real chance of rain anywhere in the foreseeable future. And so we're going to keep going on to the lows for the state of Oklahoma. Guyman up at 61. We're going to see some of the highest ones here in the Oklahoma City area at 68. Idabel at 61. Miami up at 62, joining Guyman for some of the lower temperatures across the state. But all around, we're going to be seeing a few more mid-60s coming your way in Clinton, Lawton, and Altus, coming in at 66. Tulsa at 65. Ponca City 65. Enid sitting there as well. And going into tomorrow, we are going to see a scorcher start coming across the entire state. We're going to start seeing some high temperatures down in the southwest part of the state, 95 for Lawton and Altus. We are still going to see an 80. Somewhere down here in Idabel, coming in about 88 for your high. Guyman, Enid, Woodward, Clinton, all those places going to be hovering somewhere around the mid-90s. And we're going to be looking at your daily forecast coming up for tomorrow. We're going to have 7 a.m. It's going to be right about that low temperature at 67 degrees, partly cloudy, so it'll be a nice wake up to your morning. We are going to start seeing a few more winds coming your way, starting to get a little bit warmer, a hot front coming in here, and we're going to get the winds that come in with it, coming in about 10-15 miles per hour. And then by 7 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to start seeing it come in a little lower. We're going to hover right there at about 72 degrees. And so going into your 7-day forecast, as I step aside here, I'll let you see all of that. So we're going to have 83 today, as we know, 94. We're going to see that wind start to pick up and then gradually come back down. We're going to have 94 Friday, Saturday 94, Sunday 96, with your lows staying consistent in the 70s. That is all I have for you for weather at the moment. I'm going to toss it back to CJ at the desk. He's got more for you.
Thank you, Jackson. It is definitely going to be a hot week ahead of us. But don't go anywhere. When we return with the news, we're going to see what's going on around the world. Stay tuned, Broncos.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah! Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
And welcome back, Broncos. Across the world in Ukraine, President Zelensky was in a car accident on Wednesday. According to a statement from his press secretary, he has no serious injuries. Right now, the cause of the accident is still under investigation.
And immigrants being bused to other cities is beginning to cause concern, but now planes are being used to transfer immigrants from city to city. A man whose parents were immigrants talked to the public to refocus what needs to be done on the subject of immigration and the way officials are treating immigrants.
These guys did, by the way, they're still standing. They should be home in bed 20 straight hours. And I want to thank both business and labor because, you know.
You're seeing the Oval Office where President Biden met with rail strike negotiators this afternoon. They struck a deal avoiding the impending strike that would have happened tomorrow. The deal that includes better pay and flexible schedules is now heading to union members for a ratification vote.
And coming up after the break, UCentral's Patrick Talbot gives us the latest for UCO sports, MLB, NFL, and recent NBA news as well. All that coming your way after the break. Don't go anywhere.
things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back, Broncos fans. I'm Patrick Talbot, and this is your Thursday Sports Update. A 4-day stretch without Broncos sports is coming to an end tomorrow. Women's volleyball is undefeated, and they are in action twice this weekend. The Broncos are at Fort Hays State in Kansas tomorrow at 6 p.m., and then they are at Nebraska-Kearney on Saturday at 2 p.m. Women's soccer is 5-0-1 right now, and they are home against Rogers State tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and home again on Sunday afternoon against Northeastern State at 1 p.m. Football travels to Joplin, Missouri to take on Southern Missouri Saturday at 5 p.m. And women's cross country is in action against Missouri Southern as well at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Good luck to all the Broncos in actions, and head to broncosports.com for stats and scores. Well, all sorts of history was made last night at Busch Stadium in the St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers game. Cardinals pitcher Adam Wainwright and catcher Yadier Molina were greeted with the roar of the fans as they headed to the mound and the plate together for the 325th time, setting the all-time regular season record as a duo. Molina and Wainwright made their first start together in 2007 and have won 213 games. That's 213 games of the 275 they've appeared in. Albert Pujols also drove in his 2,200th RBI. Only 3 players in the history of the game have done so. Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, now add Albert Pujols to that list. And 2 of the NFL's top quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, are set to square off on Thursday Night Football tonight, as the Chargers are traveling to Arrowhead Stadium to face the Chiefs tonight at 7:15. But the NFL is switching it up this year, as Thursday Night Football will be on Amazon Prime Video for the season. Al Michaels will handle the play-by-play in his 37th year of calling NFL games. He'll be joined in the booth by well-known college football analyst Kirk Herbstreit. Carissa Thompson will host the halftime and the post-game shows, and she'll be joined by Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez and ex-NFL players Ryan Fitzpatrick and Richard Sherman. Kickoff is at 7:15, and the pregame starts on Prime Video at 6 p.m. And LeBron James gave his thought on the NBA's handling of Phoenix Suns and the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury owner Robert Sarver. James on Twitter stating, quote, "Our league has definitely got this wrong," and would continue by saying there is no place for misogyny, sexism, and racism in any workplace. Sarver was suspended by the NBA for 1 year and received a $10 million fine after an investigation found that Sarver had allegedly used the N-word multiple times, and there were instances of, quote, inequitable conduct towards female employees. That's all the time I've got for Broncos sports. Let's go ahead and send it back to Jackson and CJ at the desk.
Thanks, Patrick. And stay with us. Coming up, we've got some more news and weather right after this short break. Stay tuned.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision. Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent.
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
And welcome back, Broncos. And we do have some breaking news about the D2L campus-wide service shutdown. These do appear to be a cyber attack on the university. We will let you know as soon as we find out any more information about these cyber attacks. Let's go ahead and toss it over to Jackson. Jackson, what's it going to look like for us this week?
It's going to look really, really hot, and we're going to look very closely at tomorrow's forecast coming up. We're going to have 67 coming in here for your low today. And we're going to be having a 92 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to have a slight increase from your weather today, and it's going to be a little bit windier, 10, 15 miles an hour coming in. We're going to have tomorrow's low coming in that night at about 72 degrees. And real quick, before we leave you with the weather, we're going to take one last look at the 7-day forecast. With today obviously being 83, you feel that outside. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to see that increase all the way up to Monday, where we top out at almost 100 degrees again. And so we're going to have lows 72, 74, 74, 75 for the next 4 days. And we're going to have Tuesday and Wednesday, the temperature starting to lower once again. Winds are going to start dying down with it as the front starts to move away as well. Guys, that's your weather update for this edition of UCentral Media. We're going to toss it back to CJ at the desk.
Thank you, Jackson. And zoo officials are celebrating the arrival of an okapi calf born September 7th. The okapi is an endangered species known as the forest giraffe and looks like a cross between a zebra and a deer. This little guy kept mom up all night, entering the world at 3:42 a.m. in the zoo's okapi barn. In less than an hour, he was standing, and he weighs in at slightly above 57 pounds. Already, the calf is meeting important milestones for growth and development.
And today is opening day at the Oklahoma State Fair as well. Admission today only is just $5. You can get your tickets at the gate or online at okstatefair.com. The fair will be here for the next 2 weekends and is hosting many live events like Disney on Ice and musical performances from Trace Adkins and Chris Johnson. Don't miss your chance to get some of that iconic fair food. And let me tell you what, that fair food is something I have only ever heard about, because I have never actually been to the state fair. I've not been lucky enough to.
Never been to the state fair.
I have never been to the state fair. It is one of my shortcomings as an Oklahoman. I've been here for better half of a decade now, never been. It's been incredible.
Honestly, the state fair has some of the most unhealthy yet delicious food you could ask for. I think my favorite would have to be those deep fried Oreos. Those are just, you give me a package of those and I will just scarf those right down.
Deep fried Oreos? That's a thing at the state fair?
They are delicious. They are very greasy, very sweet, and very delicious.
Okay, well, that'll be something we have to try, and you should try as well. But for now, that's going to do it for us on UCentral Media. My name is Jackson Rowbottom.
And I'm CJ Craig.
Have a great rest of the night, Broncos. Stay safe, Oklahoma.